Hi everybody, hello. Welcome to the Kathy J Show. My hair is doing better after that windstorm we had outside. Happy holidays to you. I'm so happy that you're tuning in this morning. Thank you very much for hanging out with me this half hour. Don't forget, you can connect with us anytime at our website, kathyjshow.com. Catch any of the previous shows there as well, okay everybody? Today we're talking about cookies and yumminess and holiday baking and everything that's amazing about the holidays, everybody. And it has to do with Chef David, because he is a master cookie maker, everybody. It's about friends and friendship, and my favorite thing is cookies and Chef David, and that's why we have Chef David here. Yay! Chef David, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so before we get going, I have to do one thing. Happy birthday to you.
Oh my gosh.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
Happy birthday. Chef David just celebrated his birthday. Happy birthday.
I did.
In New York City.
Oh my God, I did it up.
He did it up, and he flew back just to be here on the show today and make cookies with us. So thank you very much for being here.
Thanks for having me. I wouldn't miss it.
Yes, but I love you, and happy birthday. Sagittarius, that says a lot about this one. All right, so let's talk about your love for making cookies, because he told me when I got the show, Kathy, I'm coming on to make holiday cookies.
Yes.
Yes, this is your time.
I love it. You know, growing up, I baked with my grandmother, and she learned from her father, who was the lead pastry chef down at the Brown Palace.
What?
And so baking has been in our blood. Before he was down at the Brown Palace, he worked with his father in the old stockyards here in Colorado.
That is so cool.
And had their own bakery.
How did I not know this about you? How did I not know this? This is amazing. And then, of course, obviously, you yourself, that was your picture with Martha Stewart. You can't just put that up and take it down. But you have always loved holidays and stuff. And so when you started your adventure of, I'm going to become a baker.
Right.
You know, like you saw a picture of Martha Stewart in the library and you were like, I want to be her. Then that photo happens where you manifested it and you get to meet Martha Stewart.
Absolutely. Well, when I was in the library reading books, I didn't even know who Martha Stewart was.
Yeah, that's crazy.
She reminded me of my grandmother in cooking as we grew up. And so what I did was I just immersed myself in books, and I really just wanted to make my grandma proud, and I discovered Martha Stewart, and that's kind of how all that happened. The catering and everything was really just a accident. I used to bake all this stuff, and then I gave it away. My grandma used to say, I'd bake every day if I didn't have to eat it.
Yeah.
And so I used to give it all away,
Yes,
and that's how Scratch was born, because then people started to order from me, and boom, there you have it.
And Scratch Catering, no, it was amazing. And so much so that you even have decorated the White House.
Twice.
For
the holidays.
Amazing, for the holidays.
That was so much fun.
Oh my God, like you got to go there. You had to special clearance to go into the White House. Amazing. Like
I got to sit on the furniture and sip cocktails and everything else.
But you know, it says a lot about who you are and your talent. That they saw that you were good enough to get into the White House to decorate and stuff. So you also were on the Food Network.
Yes.
Season 1.
The Holiday Baking Championship.
There you go.
The very first episode of season 1 is the cookie extravaganza.
Yes.
And I knocked it out of the park. Tune in, watch it. I think it's available like on the streaming apps.
Yeah.
So check it out, the Holiday Baking Championship season 1. I had so much fun doing that, and it really was just a return to my childhood with my grandma, at least in my head while we were filming.
Right.
And I got to make like a lot of fun things, because I didn't just get to follow a recipe.
No.
They walked in there and they were like, okay, you have to use toffee bits in this. And I'm like, bits? I make toffee. I don't use bits.
You use real toffee. That's exactly right.
So it was wild, but that's where it all started.
And that's where we're going with this, everybody. So we decided if we're going to do holiday cookies, why not have the best guy in here to do it? So coming up after the break, everybody, Chef David is going to be showing us his secret recipes for his white chocolate chip ginger snaps.
Your fave!
My favorite! The green tea matcha and pistachio snowballs, and some hacks and tricks that you guys asked us. We're going to ask him. All of that after the break. We'll be back. Kathy J. The Colorado Lottery is an official partner of the Kathy J Show. Colorado Lottery, play on. Welcome back to the show today. Today it's all about Christmas and Christmas cookies. Chef David and I wear our vintage Santas.
Yes!
Yours is more fabulous. Like, that is amazing. Is that silk?
Pretty much.
How do you do it? Oh my God, it's like a Hawaiian Christmas. I love it. But Chef David is here because we're doing Christmas cookies today. So we wanted my favorite recipes today. So here's the thing. Chef David makes a cookie that I love. And whenever he makes them, I come running and I don't run. So when Chef David said, I'm going to be making the special white chocolate chip ginger snap cookies, Kathy, I went running to the house. Check it out.
She did.
I did. What is happening, everybody? Okay, where do we start? With the white chocolate ginger snaps, Chef David.
Absolutely. We're going to show you so you can make these yourself.
Yes.
You start with 3 softened sticks of unsalted butter. Just drop those right here into your KitchenAid mixer.
All right.
If you don't have a KitchenAid mixer, you could put this in a mixing bowl, or you could just put this in a bowl and do it by hands.
Yeah.
It'll be a little harder, but you can still get there, okay?
You can get there, yes.
1 cup of granulated sugar. Just drop it right in the mixer. 1 cup of packed brown sugar.
Okay. Here, I'll move out of your way for you.
I'm going to go ahead and turn this on and get that butter and sugar mixing together. We're creaming the sugar and butter, Kathy.
That's what I was just going to ask you. Certain ingredients have to go together before they all go together, right? And
yes.
like when you're doing, you don't want to be throwing a lot in there right now.
Well, here's the deal. When you're making cookies, you don't want to overmix the dough once you've already added the flour.
Okay.
But you can put anything in there that you want up into that point of the flour.
Okay, good.
So for cookies, I always add my flour last. We're going to add 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1 teaspoon of allspice, 1 teaspoon, Kathy, this is the secret ingredient, of black crushed pepper.
I was going to say, that's pepper.
Yes.
You put pepper in my cookie?
It goes in this cookie, and you love it.
I never knew. That's so good.
2 tablespoons of ground ginger.
Okay. Now that you taste.
4.5 teaspoons of baking soda. That's your leavening.
Okay.
Right?
What does leavening mean?
It's going to kind of cause your
to get them
cookies
to be
to
so
rise.
fat? Oh my God, the cookies get all fat and big. I love them. Okay.
2 large eggs, fresh from the farm.
Okay. Fresh from the farm.
There you go.
Okay,
and you're gonna mix this together and...
Whoa, what's that?
This is molasses. 3/4 of a cup of a molasses.
Okay.
And I'm just... Notice how it's coming together and the color of the dough is changing?
Yes.
That's what you want. So now, what I do for these cookies is I mix this on high at this point, and if you want to get right in here, Mr. Cameraman, you want to whip that to the point where it almost looks like it's frosting.
Yes, it does. Okay.
And now you're good.
Get out.
So now you're going to reduce it to its lowest speed, and you're going to go ahead and you're going to add 5 cups of flour. So...
what's the secret to adding the flour? Because I'm the person that adds it to the point where I just can't move the dough anymore.
Yeah, that's too much, and then you're working the dough too much. You're
I'm doing what you say not to do.
Correct.
Okay.
So now I'm going to watch this and notice how it's on its lowest setting.
Yes.
When it just kind of comes together and you see less and less white. You see with every turn you're seeing less and more. Right now, you add 2 cups of white chocolate chips. Excuse me. I said 2 cups. 2 pounds.
2 pounds. I was going to say that's a lot bigger than 2 cups.
And notice how it's kind of starting to sound strained?
Yes.
It's done. That's it. That's
it?
how you make the cookies.
Wait. Let me try this. Let me get in
There's
there.
raw egg.
I know, it's okay. Don't tell your kids to do this at home. It's them. That's them. Oh my God. Put it in the oven. No, okay. What's the secret now with rolling them?
So now we're going to just scoop it. I don't refrigerate this dough to get it firm. I just scoop it and I drop it right into this thick granulated sugar.
That's how you do it. I'm going to do a ball.
It's called crystal. Yes. It's called crystal sugar. Now with this is very important. I'm using a number 16 scoop. This recipe will yield exactly 30 cookies if you do a level number 16 scoop. This is an ice cream scoop, number 16. Sometimes you see the 16 here, and sometimes you see it on the lever that moves inside. So you want to go ahead and roll these around, just like so, and put them on a tray. That's how they come out. These are going to bake at 350 degrees for 16 to 18 minutes.
Yes.
Pull them out, let them cool, and look at them. That sugar looks like it was like frost.
Heaven!
Yes!
Heaven! I'm in heaven! We'll be right back. Thank you, Chef David!
That's how you do it.
Kathy J.
Ramos Law is an official partner of the Kathy J Show. He's a medical doctor and a lawyer. Ramos Law, what makes us different makes us better. I love it, I love it. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Hello. Thank you for joining us this half hour. We've been spending this half hour with Chef David Bondarchuck. Yes, of Scratch Catering Services, everybody. You need anything catered, you got to call Chef David.
Call me.
Yes, call me. Now, before we started the break, I said, David, what's your favorite Christmas song? And you said?
Patti LaBelle, we're my background singers.
I love that you said that. And then Director Patrice was like, hey now. So I love that. Everybody loves the holidays. We're all in a good mood here. And Chef David's going to show us his secret recipe for his green tea matcha and pistachio snowballs.
So I have
They're
to tell you
delicious.
something before we get started with this, Kathy.
Okay.
So this recipe base, you can really make anything with it.
Okay.
If you don't like matcha and pistachio, switch it up. Do a different kind of nut. If you can't do nuts, get some of that like fruit cake fruits, like the candied cherries
Okay.
and things.
All right.
Do like a candied cherry and amaretto snowball.
Ooh, now you're talking.
You can do whatever you want with this recipe. This
Okay.
is just a base. So this is kind of my twist because I know you love matcha.
I do. I love green tea and I love pistachios. So what you're about to do is what anyone needs to start with, right?
Absolutely. So
Regardless of what they're doing with the, okay, go for it.
The key to any cookie recipe, the very first, instruction is cream your butter and your sugar.
Okay.
So in this recipe, I've got 2 sticks of butter,
Yes.
which is 1 cup.
Okay.
Because mo butter, mo
Mo
better.
better.
That's what we
That's
say.
right.
And then to that, we're gonna add a 1/2 cup of powdered sugar.
Okay.
Go ahead and turn this on low because we do not want powdered sugar all over the studio. Thank
No,
you very
thank
much.
you very much.
Now at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and add our matcha. Matcha powder is fine ground green tea.
Okay.
We're gonna add 1 tablespoon
Okay.
to this recipe.
And if someone wanted to add, what else could they put in there? Like
This is an added ingredient.
Okay.
You would not substitute that for
you don't
anything.
substitute. Okay,
right.
good to ask.
Also, good to note in this recipe, there is no eggs and no leavening for the cookie.
I love that.
So now what we're gonna do is I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of pistachio flavoring. If you can get it without it being green food coloring, I would do that. This is what Amazon sent me. Amazon!
Amazon! It's so funny, the camera and people got Amazon! All right.
So now in this mixer, we've got the matcha, the flavoring, the sugar, and the butter. Now I'm going to go ahead and add 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour.
Okay.
And you're just gonna start mixing this. Now, one of my kitchen hacks, Kathy, is never to overmix your flour.
Yes.
I went over that with the White Chocolate Gingersnap.
Yep.
It's the same concept for here. As this starts to come together, we are gonna drop 3/4 of a cup of pistachios in here. Now, I am using a lightly salted pistachio.
Okay.
Pistachios come flavored now.
Yes,
do not
they
get
do.
any flavor.
Don't do those.
You don't want barbecue pistachios in your
your-
Christmas cookies. No,
No,
you
no,
don't.
no, we
But
say
they're
no.
delicious on their own.
All right, put
So-
those in. So I'm watching the dough.
It's
and the
very
flour.
dry. This one is very dry, but it comes together and it's crumbly.
Okay.
So as it starts to change, which is
This
about
is the same thing you want the more white to disappear. That's
Correct.
How you know that, like you told me with the white chocolate.
really, and for the butter to break up. You see how the butter
Yes.
ball just broke up? Now I'm gonna add that 3/4 cups of the pistachios. And so now what we're going to do is just let that mix just a little bit seconds more.
Okay.
And now we're done. That
That's
is
it?
how simple these cookies are.
I love it.
So what we do, and it looks so crumbly and dry,
Yes.
but when you touch it, Kathy, you'll know that it just comes together. So go in there and put it together and you see how
Look at
it starts to form a ball.
Yes.
If you're having trouble getting these balls to form, refrigerate your dough for about an hour or so
Okay.
and then go.
And that'll harden them up.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we got about 90 seconds left.
Okay, so roll them out into about an inch balls.
Okay.
Bake them at 350 for about 15 to 17 minutes.
Now, 15
And-
to 17, that's it. So these have been cooked.
Correct.
Okay.
So when they come out of the oven, they look just like this. It's pretty much just how you rolled them. Now, to make this cookie, finish it off, we're gonna dip this in our matcha tea white chocolate ganache.
Okay.
And then when it comes on out, we're going to garnish it here with a fresh pistachio nut.
And just leave it just like that.
I put it on a cooling rack to dry. When they're finished, they look just like this. So good.
Is it wrong that I really want to make sure I get this white chocolate ganache?
Extra icing all the way around. Calories don't count. It's the holidays.
That's exactly right, Chef David. They don't count. And I got to tell you, these are beautiful. And the flavors, I got to try one. You ready?
Please. So good, and so different.
So good.
It's a classic Christmas cookie, and you can change it up any way you want. And just remember, you did all of this in your own kitchen from scratch.
From scratch, everybody. I love you. Real fast. Would I roll it if I wanted to snowball it, like
Yes.
you said? How would I roll it in the powdered sugar?
So,
when do I do that?
Right when they come out of the oven, within the first 5 minutes. And if you wanted to do it for this recipe, add 1 teaspoon to 1 cup of powdered sugar and roll it, and you're good.
Thank you. That's how
So
we do
good.
snowballs. All right, thank you very much. Okay, everybody, when we come back, you asked him, he's going to answer all the holiday baking hacks. We'll be right back. Kathy J. Oakwood Homes is an official partner of the Kathy J Show. Oakwood Homes, building happiness. All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. The holidays are the perfect time for baking, whether you're good at it or not. You get in the kitchen and give it what you got, everybody.
Get on it.
Get on it. Don't let it stress you out, because Chef David is here with his best holiday hacks. So we allowed you to ask Chef David some questions. One of the first questions, Chef David, was when it comes to the butter, what's the difference between salted and unsalted?
Well, okay, so salted butter actually started during the Depression.
Okay.
They started adding salt to the butter to keep it so it had a longer shelf life.
Oh, because not everybody could keep it cold.
Right.
Right, refrigeration, okay.
And they rationed things. It's kind of like now during the pandemic where we have like product allergies and things.
Right.
So during the Depression, that's when salted butter kind of came in. And then afterward, it just kind of became something that we were used to, and it stayed.
Salt, the added salt. Yeah,
right.
Because we're proud to be an American.
So in actual butter for baking, I only use unsalted. That way I can control the amount of salt or sodium that's in a dish is for the flavor profile.
Okay, all right. Now this next question comes from Kathy in Thornton. I'm kidding, in Aurora. And I want to know, my sugar cookies are always flat and they burned, even though I'm doing the 8 to 10 minutes that they suggest.
Okay.
What am I doing wrong?
Okay, so for sugar cookies, the first thing you want to do is refrigerate your dough.
Oh.
You should be rolling out cold dough in between 2 pieces of plastic wrap.
Oh,
okay?
okay.
Then cut out your sugar cookies. And the best thing to do when you're using a cutter is to first dip the cutter in a bowl of like all-purpose flour so that your dough doesn't stick to your cutters.
Oh yeah, right. Okay.
So just kind of do, and then cut it out, and then put it in there. Now, before you hit them in the oven, put that whole tray of cookies back in the fridge.
What?
Yes, and roll your dough thickness out to about 1/2 inch.
Okay.
Or maybe even a tad less than 1/2 inch. But you really want them thick. That way they won't spread, they'll keep their shape, and because you've refrigerated it, when it hits the dough, it starts cooking from the inside out.
And it hits the oven.
Yes.
Okay, do I use parchment paper, spray, non-stick cooking sheets? What is best?
So in baking, it depends on what you're making, but the best hack to go to is parchment paper. It's the most affordable. If you can afford it, buy Silpats, but this is what I use for all of my baking.
I'm not going to set anything on fire by putting paper into the oven.
Absolutely not. No. Nope, you're good.
I would do that. Okay. But this is better because then you're not adding extra oil and stuff with
Exactly.
the pan. Okay.
Extra oil can cause your cookies to spread and just be a total mess.
Right. Now, if we have cookies left.
Right. What are
I
those?
don't know what those would be. Is there a rule about freezing them?
So if you're going to freeze your cookies, put them in an airtight container and consume them within a month. I wouldn't eat a cookie that's been in the freezer for 6 months or a year.
Okay, I don't want to lie, but I'll eat these things any time of the year, regardless of what freezer they come out of. Everybody, I want to let you know that the perfect gift that you can give this holiday season is Chef David's cookbook. Everybody, you can get this at ScratchCateringServices.com, and this is the This is the book. The white chocolate chip recipe is in here.
Yes.
The snowballs are in here. Everything that you've cooked for us is in here. Look here. I'll just show you. And all these beautiful. Come back in here. Oh, look.
Over 1,000 recipes, 550 full color pages.
Sorry.
You can get this exclusively at Amazon.com. Just type in David Bondarchuck.
Move your cookies.
Move your cookies.
Just say everything again. How do they find it?
Go to Amazon.com, type in David Bondarchuck from scratch, and this book is printed and shipped right to your door.
Oh my God.
Again, it's got 1,000 recipes, 550 full-color pages, and all of my tips, hacks, techniques, everything is available right there in that very first cookbook.
ScratchCateringServices.com, everybody. I just want to say thank you so much for hanging out with us this half hour, and thank you, Chef David,
it's my pleasure.
always giving everything you have to the Kathy J Show audience and to your own audience and stuff. If you need something catered or anybody, you gotta help out local, right? And our boy Chef David is always ready to cook for you. So come, please hire him for your next event. ScratchCateringServices.com, and we love you. Happy holidays.
Thank you. Happy holidays.
And your mom and my Mima and stuff. We love you guys, and thanks for all of the great memories. We hope you make more with your family this year. Thank you. I love you.